How's it going, everyone? Landon with Late Model Restoration. In this video, I'll give you my quick overview and install on 5.0Resto's T5 bearing retainer. The input bearing retainer on a T5 equipped Mustang also doubles as a throwout bearing sleeve. From the factory, these bearing retainers were made of an aluminum base and sleeve. Over time, the aluminum sleeves would often develop wear grooves, causing the throwout bearing to bind, which would create clutch engagement and disengagement issues. This 5.0Resto bearing retainer will feature an upgraded steel sleeve, which is far stronger than the factory aluminum sleeve. It is a direct replacement for all 1983 to 1993 5.0 Mustangs and 1984 to 1986 SVO Mustangs equipped with the T5 transmission. Of course, if you've swapped an early model Fox body to a T5, then this bearing retainer will work for your application as well. Before you begin replacing the bearing retainer, a lift is highly recommended, as well as above average mechanical ability. This can, however, be done off of jack stands just to get the car as high and as safe in the air as you can. For the proper steps on removing your T5 transmission from your Fox Mustang, go ahead and reference our clutch install video, which can be viewed by clicking the link in the video description or the card in the upper right hand corner on your screen. Finally, remove the transmission from the car. I would recommend the help from a friend. The transmission isn't heavy, it's just awkward. Go ahead and place a 2x4 underneath the base of the transmission so it remains level. Loosen and remove the 4 bearing retainer to transmission bolts. It is normal for a little fluid to run out when removing the old retainer. Taking a closer look at this retainer, the sleeve has separated itself from the base. Use a small drift and hammer to separate the bearing retainer from the transmission. Carefully scrape away any traces of old gasket maker. Be sure to cover the area so that no debris enters the transmission. Once all the gasket maker is removed, thoroughly wipe the area with quality brake clean. Be sure and transfer the old shim and bearing race from the old retainer. You may have to very lightly tap the race into the new retainer with a rubber mallet. Thoroughly clean the 4 previously removed bolts. Before continuing, make sure the tension ring inside of the retainer seal is not on the input shaft. The new retainer will have one pre-installed into the new seal. Apply a thin film of fluid around the opening in the transmission. Wipe the back side of the new retainer with quality brake clean. Position the new retainer over the input shaft, making sure the fluid drain back grooves are oriented in the right direction. The rectangular groove is going to be on the bottom, and the groove that closely represents a circle is going to be on the top. Lightly tap the retainer into place. Reinstall the previously removed bolts and torque to 15 pound-feet. Now you can reinstall the transmission into the car and reassemble all the previously removed components. Be sure and give everything a good solid once-over, and you're all finished. Installation of the retainer itself is actually quite simple. It's getting to the retainer is what takes above average mechanical ability. Overall installation time will vary depending on if you're working from a lift or off of jack stands. I would honestly set aside a full afternoon in the garage with a few friends. If you guys want to see more informative videos covering the Fox Mustang, then go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. Be sure and pick up this 5.0Resto steel bearing retainer from the real Fox enthusiasts, LMR.com.